Okay, so once you're in the dashboard, you'll know your way around here since you've used WordPress before. So everything should look pretty similar to what you're used to. So the best way to edit a page would be to go to Visit Website. And once you're on the site, you just click to the page that you want to edit. So let's say we want to edit the About Us section. So once you're on this page, you have this button up here, Enable Visual Builder. So let's click that. And what that does is that gives us a front-end editable version of the website. So if you see, we can just hover over things and then it gives us these options. We can move this. It's called a module. This is called a text module. This is an image module. So we can move the module, we can duplicate it, we can trash it, or we can edit it with this icon here. So this is a little editing screen, so we can lock it to the side by clicking that button there, or we can have it as a floating module, and then we can drag it out. So this is a really cool way to edit your content. So let's make it a bit smaller. Well, let's make it a floating one, so then you can see what the page is going to look like. And then you can just edit your text in here. If you see look up here, we have this here as a heading 3. So you can change the heading sizes. And then this text here is paragraph text. So if you just edit the text here, we'll edit the text on the page. And then once you've made the changes, you press the tick button. And then to save those changes, you've got this 3 dots down here, you click Save. Here you can also see what the website will look like on a tablet and on an iPhone or on a phone. So go back to website. Now this here, these options here are quite important actually too. If I click that, then you'll see that the these icons show up as I hover over it. If I click that, then I actually have to click to see those icons. I like this version a lot better because it's, yeah, I mean, I've used this for quite a while, so this is definitely the sort of easiest way to manage it. This down here, this is called what you call a global module. So these are 2 separate modules down here. If you click on one of them and click the icon, the gear icon, you'll see you can make the changes. And let's go down there. Let's do the same here. Click the gear icon. You'll be able to make the changes here. This here is a separate module here. It is the social media follow module, so you can add different social networks in here. You can add another, say, Twitter, and then you can put your Twitter link in here. Yeah, so if you make changes to something, you can, like, let's go to here, you can make all the changes you want, and let's say you're not happy with the changes, then if you click cross, then the changes won't happen. So that's a good way to kind of check that everything looks good before you click the tick button, because then once you've got the tick button, then it's harder to make changes. You can click, what was it? If I click the tick, you can go Control Z. There we go, and it will undo the changes. So that's also a good way too. And remember, you can't, it won't save it unless you click the save button here. So if I go to close out of it, it will say your changes won't be saved. So I'll just cancel that. So this is a global module. So this footer is on every page. And so if you make one change here, it makes a change on all of the pages, which is really handy. So you don't have to go through every page and make the change on every page. You just do it on one. So let's go to another page in contacts. So I haven't saved my changes, so I will leave. Now one interesting thing to notice, if I go back to About Us, and I go enable Visual Builder, it should pop up with here. So what this is saying is I made some changes and I didn't click save. So do I want to restore it, which means go back to the changes that I made, or don't restore? So if I made some changes and didn't save them, and then I went to another page and then I came back, and then I went to edit the page, if I click restore, those new changes will show up. So because I don't want those changes, because I didn't save them, I will hit don't restore. That's a really good way to, if you've made some changes and you've forgotten to push save and you've left the page, and then you go back to edit the page and hit restore, then those changes will show up again. So yeah, that's a really handy feature. So in here we click contact and we go enable Visual Builder again, and then we can make the changes in here. Again, once this website is loaded on your actual server, I will change the details in here, and then we'll click here and click the gear icon and make the changes. You can also make the changes in here as well. So if I type in there, changes will also be made. I like to do it where I click the gear icon because it's just a lot, I mean, like I said, I've been using it for a while and it's just a lot more user-friendly. If you click the gear icon, you've got all of these things you can use. It's a little bit easier. Over here, yeah, it's just a lot easier to use.